Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be comparing the Ram Rebel to the Ford Tremor, and I picked the 6-cylinder engines with both of these trucks to make things as comparable as possible. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the large Miller Ford here in Provo for giving me some time with the Tremor, and then the Ram here in Provo for giving me some time with the Rebel. I'll include a link to both their websites in the description down below. If you have any questions on the Ford product, just ask for John Jenks. If you have any question on the Ram side of things, just ask for Easton. Link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Powering the Ram is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline 6 that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy 17 around town, 24 on the highway. Power outputs are 420 horsepower and then 469 pound-feet of torque. Now powering the Ford is a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 21 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 500 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention if you're going to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, both of these are off-road packages, and the front ends look pretty off-roady. So I mean, the Ram, you've got all the venting here. You can see the grill's all blacked out, and then we do have a real off-road bumper. This isn't plastic. You can see that can definitely take an impact. We also have some skid plate protection underneath, recovery points, and you can see a similar setup here on the Ford. You notice that both these trucks actually pretty solid setup for approach angle. Sorry about my shadow right there. But yeah, I think they both look really cool. Now both trucks are rocking 18-inch wheels, and then 275 by 70 by 18 is the tire wheel setup on both of them, so it's actually identical. And here's a quick look at the Ford tires versus the Ram with the Duratrex. You guys can see here with the fender flares in the Ram, and then the Ford doesn't actually have any fender flares. You do have a Tremor kind of like vent piece there. Side steps here on the Ford, whereas the Ram does not have any side steps, but it does have air suspension, which can lower down to make access a little bit easier. And let's talk about the suspension and decals. So, which do you like better, the Rebel decal or the Tremor decal? Now, the Tremor has leaf springs, fixed suspension. The Ram, well, this particular one has air suspension. You still have Bilstein shocks, but interesting. Here's your side profile with the Rebel. Here's your side profile with the Tremor. Now both of these are trucks, so beds are important. The Ford, as you can see, no bed liner, but it does have some outlet action, some lights as well. So pretty cool setup. And then the tailgate's actually power, up and down. And this has Ford's new tailgate system where it's a little swing door, so basically just press this button here and it'll open up to be a door. Kind of interesting setup. And then you guys can see the rear bumper there with the recovery points. Pretty cool looking overall. Now the Ram's a little bit more of a traditional setup, still no bed liner, funny enough. We do have LED lights here in the bed. And then with the Ram tailgate, you just lift it up a little bit and then boom, pops up very quickly. You've got an off-road bumper in the rear, dual exhaust tips as well, so cool looking in its own way. Now let's take a look at the cabs. So in the back of the Ford, you can see all the stitching and everything there. Ford does have slightly more comfortable seats, but got the gold too. See the storage pocket. Legroom, massive in the Ford. See a cup holders back here. We've got heated seats, some vents, charging ports as well. Yeah, definitely a large cabin, lots of space and all that. And popping over to the Ram, I do like the door panel trim a little bit better. It feels a little bit tighter. Same thing with the seat trim. The Rams just feel a little bit more high quality. Like I said, these seats aren't uncomfortable at all. They're just not as comfortable as the Fords. Still have tons of space. The Ram does give you little ice buckets too, so you can store some cold ones, right? Not my recommendation. Anyways, heated seats in the back, USBs, vents, all of that. And again, it's pretty much just as spacious as the Ford, so they're both practical. And then this leads us up front with the Ford. So again, you've got the gold that goes across. All of our window controls, and those front two are automatic. The mirrors power fold in. You got memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. 1454 for the payload. This is pretty cool. Tremor there on the seat. Nice setup. All of your adjustments there. Getting in's easy with those side steps and the grab handle. And close the door. So full digital gauge cluster, as you can see. This also comes with stuff like adaptive cruise control, and we also have a 360 camera system. So nice with that tech. That also has off-road cruise control, which, you know, is going to be important for off-road trucks. But yeah, easy to use infotainment system. Has a trailer backup system, trailer brake controls. We've got a 2-speed transfer case, 4-wheel drive auto, rear locking differential. We've got, excuse me, all of our radio controls, heated and cooled seats, dual zone climate as well. Wireless phone charging pad inside. The shifter on the Ford is interesting. And then this has a big center console. Flips forward too, which is kind of cool. Got the double glove box set up. Regular rear view mirror, power sliding rear window, bunch of auxiliary switches, kind of hard to see the lighting. And then we do have a big sunroof. This leads us to the front of the Ram. And you gotta like the red, the Ram. Automatic for the front 2 windows, mirrors power fold in, memory seats. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Payload capacity is 1423. It's a pretty similar payload. See nice leather seats, they are power adjustable. Getting in is easy, again air suspension plus grab handle helps out. And then the door sounds pretty good. Full digital gauge cluster just like the Ford. So we're fancy pants with both of them. This also has adaptive cruise control. You got lane centering. Got your drive modes here on the steering wheel instead of the dial like the Ford down below. Gear limiter. And then guess what? 360 camera system. A little bit of a smaller view, but still nice to have. But yeah, tablet infotainment system with climate controls on either side. Just like the Ford here, we'll go to the comfort page so you can see. We've got heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel too. Air suspension, you can adjust it there. Parking sensors. 2-speed transfer case with rear locking differential and 4-wheel drive auto. Dial shifter though, which is interesting. But because this doesn't have a traditional shifter, you've got a sliding center console with tons of space. Got all the USB ports there. You can see phone charging pad. You got an outlet down below. I like the center console a lot more than what Ford has. It's just very spacious. Nice trim throughout. Passenger screen, stupid. Get rid of it. Yeah, it's pointless, isn't it? Nice trim on the dash, though. We do have a panoramic sunroof as well as a power sliding rear window, though, which is nice. And it comes in pricing, that's about $79K, and that's about $77K. So pretty close in price. See how they perform. Let us set off in the Tremor with the EcoBoost. I did the Revo the other week. Pretty cool truck. 3.5, that's what more people go for. Like, Ford sells so many more of these 3.5 EcoBoosts, and I get it. A little bit better fuel economy, more torque, not more horsepower, but more torque. And you know, here we're at over 4,000 feet above, I think it's like 4,500 feet here, roughly, above sea level. And so, yeah, that also plays a big part with the turbo engine having a little bit less power loss. Let's just turn that down. Seats are comfortable. I like Ford's Lariat and above seats. Platinum seats are the best, but yeah, Lariat and above are very comfortable seats. And torque is strong. The torque is strong with this one, right? I know, really, it does well for itself. And the suspension's comfortable too. So one thing, if you haven't had a chance to drive a new F-150, just drive any of the packages, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how car-like it drives. The suspension is just very, very smooth. Over bumps, even with these leaf springs, it still does a good job. Oh man, where's all this traffic coming from? 240. Say, it doesn't feel that late, but I guess it is already. I don't think I've gotten this unlucky at all today. I was just cruising before, and now there's like a million cars. I do like the Tremor interior in general too. I think it's a cool setup that Ford's done. Okay, so it looks like we're good to go. Man, this thing's a powerful beast. Isn't it crazy how powerful these full-size pickup trucks are nowadays? Like they're genuinely just fast. It's quite impressive. So to sum things up with the Tremor F-150 EcoBoost, my heart still is with the 5.0, but I think the EcoBoost is a really solid engine, and it's been around for a long time. The one thing I do think is strange is these newer EcoBoosts aren't as reliable as the older ones. Usually engines get more reliable over time, but that's not the case here. Kind of a weird thing. But either way, let me know what you guys think about the EcoBoost Tremor. Let me know if you go EcoBoost or 5.0. I'm still kind of leaning a little bit towards 5.0, and Tremor package in general, pretty cool. Rebel back to back with the Tremor. Interesting to have a full-size truck comparison and not a single V8 in sight. Crazy, right? Crazy world. But you know, that's how things are. For the time being, we'll see how long that lasts. Good torque. And yeah, I mean, that's nice. I like it. It's pretty smooth. Suspension wise, this is more truck like than the F-150. The F-150 felt a little bit more car like. This definitely has that kind of like bigger, heavier, like I said, truck like feel. But smooth overall. It's nice. Yeah, the inline 6 is interesting. It's got a pretty good punch right off the bat, I'd say. I think we got a little freebie here. Ah, we got a bus though. The bus always running the fun. Well, maybe eventually. It's got some pep in its step. The inline 6 definitely has a better top end than the V6 and the Tremor. And I actually like how this engine performs more than the V6 overall. Just smoother. I just don't know about the reliability. That's the big question mark with this. Is it going to be reliable? We kind of know the issues with the EcoBoost, whereas this, you know, a little bit more uncertain. So overall, Rebel versus Tremor. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough choice. I kind of lean a little bit towards the Rebel. I just like the interior a little bit more. It feels a little bit more user-friendly. There's, you know, a few things that I'm not so sure about, right? Air suspension, how reliable is that going to be? And then, of course, the inline 6, how reliable is that going to be? And I really wish that Ram would go to a horizontal and then get rid of that stupid passenger screen. Just because the Ford doesn't even offer a passenger screen, that's like a big point for Ford. Seriously. So let me know which one you'd go for. I think they're both pretty cool full-size off-road pickup trucks. And look how good the 4-wheel auto is. There's a lot of vehicles that can't get up curbs even in like 4-wheel high, and so the fact that this in its all-wheel drive mode can do that. It's got pretty big tires, which helps out, but it's still cool. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know which one you pick.